Today we're going to talk about the multiplication strategy of using an array or an area. Now, an array is just a group of objects that are arranged in columns and rows to help us count them more easily. An area is a little bit different. It's similarly grouped in columns and rows, but when we talk about area, we measure it in square units, because the area of a shape is how much fits inside of it, or how many square units fit inside the shape. When we look at the problem 7 times 5, we can think of this as 7 groups of 5, or when we think of an area model, we can think of it as a 7 by 5 rectangle. If this were a 5 by 5, it would be a square. So when we talk about multiplying two numbers together, we're looking at squares or rectangles. This rectangle, again, will be a 7 by 5 rectangle. So first we're going to draw our rectangle. And I said that we would have a 7 by 5 rectangle. So this rectangle is 7 units tall and 5 units wide. To show that, we're going to divide this into squares. So we're going to make 7 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now notice I only had to divide this with 6 lines to make 7 squares, because 7 rows, because we're counting the space in between, because the area is how much space how much space this rectangle takes up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows. And now we need 5 columns. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we have 7 by 5 rectangle. To find the answer, all we need to do is count how many square units we have in our rectangle. We could count by 1, or since these square units are arranged in rows and columns, we could count by groups of 5 or by groups of 7. If we count by groups of 5, we get 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 35. So there are 35 square units in this area. But we also could count by 7s, because we have 7 in each column. 7, 14, 21, 28, and 35. Either way, we find that there are 35 square units in this area. It's up to you. Would you rather count by 5s or count by 7s?